Hello, welcome. I'm bringing you another episode of The Return of the Deadeye. I'm working out of Cattail Pond. You can see I've got my camp set up there. I've got fast travel in my camp. I just fast traveled here from Valentine. The end of the video, I'm going to be right at that fast travel post in Valentine again. So this is going to be a round trip hunt. Now I have another video. It's listed in the description below. It doesn't have any time lapses. There's no voiceover. It shows the full 22-minute hunt from start to finish without any cuts. So if you really want to see a hunt that doesn't have any time lapses, check the description for that. Other than that, here we go with this hunt. Now check out this spot that I'm going to shoot this ram down, because this spot later is going to come into play, and I'm actually going to bag 7 ram at once using that spot. The spot I just shot from is also a ram spawn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up and I'm going to hit the ram spawn that spawns down by where I was just at, and then I'm going to keep my eyes up here because I see the ram are up here where I'm at now, and I'm going to keep them spawned, and they kind of get like funneled into an area where there's like nowhere for them to go up there, so it's perfect. I end up shooting 7 ram at once, just skinning them back to back. I've never gotten that many ram at once before. I thought that's pretty cool. So I like to get the animals that have the antlers, and yeah, sure, you're probably thinking to yourself, 7 ram, that's like way more meat than you can even carry, and it is. I totally 100% agree with you. I could have cut this off earlier this hunt because I was full on meat early on, but I just kept going. This Cattail Pond is just, it's so addicting because every time you turn around there's something to shoot that's big and delicious. It's got antlers and a hide on it. It just, okay, and this elk here, it was a 1-star elk. So if you come up and you got a 1-star elk and it's still alive, just give it a kick. Hit the B button or the O button. If you're on PS4, it's the B button on Xbox One. And that just kind of gives it a kick and finishes it off. Because honestly, like, who cares about the venison? You're going to fill up on venison lickety split. You're just kind of in it for the antlers at that point. You know, it's kind of like almost, do you even waste the time to go over and skin it when all you're doing is for the antlers? But anyways, you're not going to want to sit there and waste any more time if it's a 1-star waiting for it to die. Just give it a kick and get on with your hunt. Unfortunately, I got this 3-star buck here, which ended up being what I take back to the butcher. I never did get a 3-star elk to replace it with, I don't think. I'm pretty sure I ended up going back to the butcher with that 3-star buck. I could have made even a little bit more money if that owl right there would not have been a 1-star. For some reason, if you rewind back and look, to me it only looked like I hit that owl 1 time. But for some reason it only gave me 1 feather. And also, I told you guys in a previous video that these eagles will not spawn at nighttime. And I'm sorry about that. I was wrong at least about this eagle right here. This is the 2nd time I've seen it spawn at night. So don't give up checking this eagle. This eagle here will spawn day and night for you. And you can see how I got it. I went into that little cove area, or I guess like that little valley area just north of the eagle, and shot south at it and scared it off, and it flies right over the trail. It makes it a lot easier to get. You just gotta, you know, play it cool here. Like, I know that when I come back after being that far away from the pond, the likelihood of there being game at the pond is extremely high. So anytime you're coming back like that, you want to just take it easy. You don't want to be hustling your horse, you know, galloping around. I love the Carcana. You don't even need to do headshots with the Carcana. There is a vital organ spot in the chest cavity of the deer, just the same as in real life. And if you hit that chest cavity, then you can still get, you know, more than 1 star on your deer, a 3-star, but it's hard to do when they're running. But still, it is possible. Also, you go for their neck as well will work. Now, that deer is in the brush there, and I'm incredibly close to it, and it's not fleshed out, and I'm guessing that's just because it couldn't see me because the brush was blocking it. I don't even know how many stars it is yet. I see here it's a 3-star, and I'll admit that was a pretty lucky shot with the bolt action at that range. Open sight. the majority of the time I'm going to take that shot and it's just going to wound it, and I would have lost stars on it. A little later, I end up turning a 3-star into a 1-star. It's a bummer. I didn't even know I did it until watching the video when I was live playing, and I had no idea that I'd done that. Also, it's kind of nice, like if you have an animal that's running around, if you can scare it into the lake, then you can use the lake while it's swimming to get closer to it, like I'm doing here, in order to get an easy kill shot when it gets up on shore. And for something like a small deer or something, you can actually shoot it while it's like half in the water and half out before it even gets a chance to accelerate. It's kind of nice if you use the water to your advantage. And on the smaller animals, you can't do it with the elk, I don't think, but on the smaller like deer and the ram, you can use your lasso even to pull them out of the water. Okay, now this is the spot where I'm going to bag 7 ram. Check this out. It just screwed up one of them. Now that's 2 down, and there's a 3rd one here. But now the original spot that I showed you early on in the game, look up there. You can see there's ram running around right now. So I'm going to keep my camera watching on them, because if I look away, then those ram will despawn, and I won't be able to go kill them. So the whole time I'm skinning these ones down here, I'm watching up there, so you can actually see them. Even though I'm time-lapsing it, you can actually still see them up there. So I'm going to keep the camera facing up there the whole time, and then work my way up there. And I'm going to bag 7 ram, which is crazy, because once you kill a couple of them, any other ram in the area despawn, unless you can keep them on the screen like I just showed you. And this spot here, it's really, really good for it, because you could see that there was a ram spawn down at the lower altitude, and then these ones up here, they can't, there's nowhere really for them to go. They just kind of cove in up here. And that one I thought was getting away, but then look, he pops up here again. And then I'm like, but then again, he's still going to come back. Watch, there he is. See his head right there? I was thrilled. I mean, how often does that happen? I've never bagged that many of one species of large animal like this. Like maybe birds, like geese and ducks when they're really close together, but large game like this, that's never happened to me before. So I'm going to try and recreate that, because if I can recreate that, that's mad legit for making, that's a great money method. If you can keep recreating that, like anytime I see ram by the pond or ram like south of the pond, I'm going to consider not shooting them and instead checking these 2 spawns to see if it's lined up. Because like you could shoot 1 ram at the pond, and then when I came back down here, this is perfect. If you hit these 2 birds from that angle, then you keep both of them on the screen. Just the same principle as what I was showing you with the ram, keeping the ram on the screen. If I were to shoot one of these birds and the other one was off screen, then I turn and look, the other one 9 times out of 10 is going to have vanished into thin air. But since I had both of them on screen there, it prevents them from despawning. It made the eagle pick up and fly away. It worked out perfectly. So anytime I see those 2 birds there together, I think I'm going to try and hit them from that angle. It's important to kind of know how to work these angles and understand where the spawns are, because all these spawns are static spawns. Nothing's spawning in here randomly. It's really important to understand that when you see animals, to remember where the location that they're spawning in at is, so that you can get the upper hand and know what you're about to get into before you even get into it. Now I have 2 deer in the pond right here. And as you can see, they're just like going nice and slow. I'm going to kick that out because it's only a 1-star. Even if it was a 2-star, I probably would kick it at this point. It might have even been a 2-star, because I'm not really in it for the venison. I'm not going to take the hide. All I'm getting is the antler. See, that one right there was a 3-star deer. I just dropped it down to a 2-star, now a 1-star, which is a shame. But, I'm at a pretty long range using the bolt action there. I did not want to use the scope on the Carcano, because if you have a carcass laying on the ground and you use your scope to shoot at other animals, then a lot of times when you come out of the scope, the carcass that was laying there has vanished. So don't do that. If you have a carcass laying down, use a gun that doesn't have a scope on it to shoot anything else that you might want to shoot. Now here's a method to earn some extra cash. I showed you guys this in another video. I tried looting that horse's saddlebag. It didn't like me doing it. So I don't really care to spend too much time trying to loot that bag. I'm going to move on with the rest of this method. I'm stealing a horse. You know that my other horse, I told it to flee before I fast traveled into Valentine. Okay, now that kind of stores it. It's got all my hides. It's got my carcasses. You definitely do not want to be mounted on your horse when you fast travel, because that will drop the rating of all the carcasses down to poor. So make sure at the very least you get off your horse before you fast travel. But I like to tell mine to flee, and then when I load into Valentine, I check the post office to see if there's one for me to steal. If there is, I go over, I try and loot the saddlebag. The majority of the time it works. This time it didn't. But that's okay, because I still steal the horse. And I head over here, and I check out. There's 3 buck spawns on this side of town, and there's also 3 whitetail doe spawns on this side of town. And I'm just west of Valentine. I have another video. It's called like the bonus money from the butcher or something. I don't know. I'll link it down in the description or check for it at the end of the video. And it has a map showing this area and the different spawns for these deer. But as you can see, I got lucky. I found a 3-star. That's my favorite spot to pick up the buck on this method, is right here. It's usually really easy to get. Now sometimes on the way in from there, you can actually pick up a doe too and come in with 2 more carcasses. So I'm going to sell this carcass, sell the other stuff I have in my satchel, call my horse, and then sell everything I have on my horse. End up making 80 bucks. 22 minutes. 380 XP. You know, also you guys doing this method, you're working on awards. Any awards that you get for selling items to the butcher, animal parts to the butcher, you also get awards for skinning animals. You get awards for shooting birds in flight. You know, there's just like so many different awards for hunting that you're earning. Like fishing, you're not earning any awards. You're not earning any XP. You're not earning any gold. You know, here, every 5 levels that you rank up, you get a treasure map. You get a bonus cash payout. You get gold. I've even looted pamphlets. If you're still a low level and you don't have your pamphlets yet, I've even looted pamphlets out of treasure maps. It's happened more than once to me too. Not just once. It's happened at least twice. It might have even happened 3 times. I'm not sure. But now that I have all the pamphlets, it's not going to happen again because I have all of them. But still, you know, that those treasure maps are very valuable. So XP is very valuable because that's going to earn you treasure maps. And that's all I got for you today. I thought this was a great episode. I appreciate you coming in. If you're new, go ahead. Make my day. Subscribe. I'll catch y'all next time. Until then, happy hunting and happy trails.